Herein lies why over the past year I've been telling you that local politics matter, and to a great degree they matter a lot more than what's happening on the national stage concerning presidential elections. Now, as many of you already know, New York City Council passed a law that would allow non-citizens the right to vote in local elections, with the only requirement being that they've lived in the city for at least 30 days. Yup. That's it. After 30 days, non-citizens can vote on the city's most pressing issues that will have ramifications on you longer than they will have been in the country. Furthermore, this bill was passed without any regards for what that might mean for black residents who are vastly outnumbered, rendering their votes inconsequential.
Majority Leader Lori Cumbo questioned the potential impacts on city politics.
This particular legislation is going to shift the power dynamics in New York City in a major way. And we do not have the numbers or the information to know how that is going to impact African American communities.
Yeah, sorry to tell you, but nobody cares. That's why they passed it without any regards to black New Yorkers. Now, in the state of Georgia, there was an attempt to make a constitutional amendment that would explicitly ban non-citizens from voting, but it failed to pass the state Senate. A proposal to amend the Georgia Constitution so that it explicitly bans non-citizens from voting failed to pass the state Senate on Monday, falling short of the 2/3 majority needed to advance. State law already limits voting to U.S. citizens, but a constitutional amendment would have prevented the Georgia General Assembly from someday passing a bill permitting non-citizens to participate in elections. Local politics, local politics, local politics. Trust me when I tell you it is only a matter of time until Georgia follows suit with New York. But now, in other news, the state of California is currently on the verge of passing a bill that will allow non-citizens the ability to become police officers, as if we don't already have enough problems with white supremacist gangs forming within the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. And when I say white supremacists, I'm not simply talking about white males, but also white Hispanic males, because they are the two groups that make up one of the most recent white supremacist gangs that have been outed, called the Executioners. Black males need not apply. Now let's get into this article right here from lawofficer.com titled California Dems Propose Bill to Allow Non-Citizens to Become Police Officers. A California Democrat has proposed a new state bill that will allow non-citizens to become police officers. Democrat Senator Nancy Skinner proposed SB 960. If passed, it would remove the provision that an individual must be a citizen or permanent resident of the United States in order to become a police officer. The poorly crafted legislation makes no distinction between legal and illegal immigrants, Fox Los Angeles reported. The bill was previously voted on at the end of March with 4 ayes and 1 no. Democrat Senators Stephen Bradford, Sidney Kamlager, and Scott Wiener, along with Skinner, all voted in favor of the bill. The bill received its second reading on Tuesday and now is on to its third reading. The bill only allows for legal immigrants to become police officers, as a source familiar with the bill told Fox News Digital. However, the language in the bill itself does not specify that illegal immigrants are barred from doing so. Now here's the important part. The term illegal immigrant was unnecessary to include, as other sections of federal law already barred illegal immigrants from becoming officers, the source continued. Now, I want to stop right here. And the reason for that is because I want you to pay attention to the fact that the writers of this bill made it a point not to add illegal immigrants to the bill because the term was unnecessary to include, as other sections of federal law already barred illegal immigrants from becoming officers. But here's the real question. Why not add it to make sure that it's solidified? Leaving that out was done intentionally to make sure that the window is always at least slightly cracked open just in case we change our minds. That's the same reason Democrats in Georgia didn't want to pass the bill against amending the Georgia Constitution to solidify that non-citizens can't vote in the state. Now let's go back to the original article on Georgia. The constitutional amendment was proposed by Senator President Pro Tem Butch Miller. Miller said the constitutional amendment would solidify existing state law and block potential changes in the future. We're going to exclude those who are non-citizens and residents of Georgia, Miller said. In Georgia, voting is sacred and citizenship should matter. Now, in this article from Savannah Now titled Georgia Senate Democrats Shoot Down Constitutional Ban on Non-Citizen Voting, it states that Senate Democrats didn't object to banning non-citizens from voting, but complained such a prohibition already exists both in state law and in the Georgia Constitution. Now, here's my question. If you don't necessarily object to it, then why not solidify it by making a constitutional amendment? Well, that's because they're full of it. They want to make sure to at least keep the window slightly cracked just in case they change their minds, which they will eventually do. Listen, as a child of immigrants, which most of you already know that I am telling you what I know. And what I know is that a good deal of immigrants, not all of them, but a good deal, no matter where they come from, Europe, Asia, Latin America, Africa, or the Caribbean, it doesn't matter. A good deal of them hold anti-black racist sentiments. All you have to do is look at what happened in the Ukraine. The mainstream media desperately tried to ignore the racism that the Ukrainian law officials and its citizens were displaying towards the Africans attempting to flee the Ukraine. The racism there is so bad that the Peace Corps, which is the United States government, even had to put out an official statement warning black volunteers that if they opted to join the Peace Corps to help Ukrainian refugees, that they should expect to be called the N-word and monkeys. You're going over to the Ukraine to help them, and they're still being racist towards you despite the fact that you came to help. Now ask yourself, in the midst of over 100,000 Ukrainian refugees coming to the States, alongside over 100,000 Afghan refugees coming over, alongside the fact that the U.S. southern border looks like the outside of a packed club, you have to ask yourself, do you really think it's beneficial to you for non-citizens to now have the ability to vote in local elections and to become police officers? This is why local politics matters. Because none of what I've been talking about is happening because of Sleepy Joe. No, it's your local government that's permitting all of this. Your governors, your mayors, your city council, your state senators, your general assembly, your aldermen, not Sleepy Joe and cackling Kamala. Just something to think about. So with all that being said, that does it for today's video. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as the bell notification next to the subscribe button so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. All social media links will be pinned in the comment section below. Please make sure you text tdhiphop to number 33222. That's tdhiphop to number 33222. That way you'll get a direct text notification whenever I release a new video, but it also serves as a protection plan for myself in case YouTube ever gives this channel the axe. I'll be able to send you a direct link to where you can find me next. And last but not least, for those of you who have a love and appreciation for the work that I put in on this channel, the number one way you can show your support is through Patreon. For only $3 a month, that will help put me in position to take TD Hip Hop Media off of YouTube. Remember, the goal is not to grow big on YouTube, but to grow independent of YouTube. And for those who have issues with joining Patreon, you could also hit the join button that's next to the subscribe button, and that way you can become an official channel member for as little as $3 a month as well. And lastly, if you have not already, please make sure you join the emailing list. There is no way that I can go independent of YouTube if I cannot take the audience with me. And the link to that will be pinned in the comment section as well. Thank you for your time, and until the next video, peace.